Guys, what's up? Kyle here. This is a topic I've been really thinking about for a while, at least for the past couple of days or whatever. A lot of people have been saying, since WrestleMania or even before WrestleMania, the WWE just seems just kind of stale. Even now going into Extreme Rules, no one's really interested in the pay-per-view and the matches and whatnot. And I agree. The interest for WWE is not there. And my thing is this here. I think, in my opinion, I think WWE needs a refresh. They need to hit the refresh page button. They need a new start fresh, start anew. Because they've been kicking the same gear for far too long, and I think they need a boost. And one thing, in my opinion, and this is the topic of the video. One of the things I think that would help WWE get that refresh, that kickstart, is if they start a new era. I think starting a new era in WWE, a new era, could be a bit of put some new wrinkles in the bland clothing that WWE has been wearing over the last several years. I think it'd be very, very beneficiary to WWE. I think with a lot of the guys that they've brought up from developmental, like the Shield, guys like from the Shield, Biggie Langston, I'm trying to think of some other guys. It's Cesaro and Damian Sandow, and current guys they have on the roster today that they're still building up, and other guys that they're high on that should come on the roster. I think they could do it because they have the talent. They have so much good talent. I mean, from the roster trickling down to developmental, WWE has like untapped potential talent. It's crazy, especially they have so many internet darlings. It's amazing. I think they could start a new era with this, with these new breeds of fresh new talent. And like I said, even with current start they already have today. One of the things I think WWE needs to hit the restart button on is the way they handle things backstage wise, creatively. I don't know if they've done this or not, but my interpretation is that they probably have not done it this way, because a lot of former writers from WWE are Hollywood script writers that have no experience or no knowledge of wrestling whatsoever. So, which makes me to believe that all of their booking teams is just full of HBO script writers. My thing is this. Now, okay, if you have SmackDown and Raw, each show have their team of writers. Let's say each brand has a 6-member team. If they have a 6-member team of writers, what I would kind of do is I'll kind of make it a balance. So say you have 6 writers for each show. I would have 2 writers, or two guys, let's say, who are seasoned wrestling veterans. Okay. Seasoned wrestling veterans that have been out there, that had that experience in the ring and out on the road. I would put them a part of the booking committee. The next 2 set of guys, I would have wrestling bookers, guys that have experience in writing storylines and stuff, in wrestling. Whether it could be someone from old or put somebody new, because I don't think it should be a thing full of old guys, because then you have too many old people, you have too much of an old mindset, and they're not gonna be open to fresh new ideas. So have, whether it be some young bookers, or you have one veteran wrestling booker and then one new guy who's kind of like I guess you could be a pupil. Have 2 wrestling bookers in that thing, and then the last 2 guys, you have your Hollywood script writers, and they can bring in the drama and the dramatic, oh my gosh, shock value that WWE is just so fixated upon. So I think it would be a good idea if they did that. Just make it a balance, instead of just having all these, guys that have no knowledge of wrestling. Have 2 former seasoned veteran wrestlers. Have 2 wrestling just pure bookers, guys who obviously have not been wrestlers before, but bookers and have written for wrestling before. And then have your 2 Hollywood script writers. You get a little bit of balance of everything you want. And I think by you having that perspective and those different mindsets, I think you can come together, and I think you could come up with some good storylines in wrestling if they would just do something like that. I think Triple H. Now, I know Triple H is in charge of developmental, talent and relations and whatnot. But I say put Triple H on the booking committee. Put him on the booking team because I think Triple H could do a good job in booking. I think he's one of the very few people in that company, unlike, say, a Michael Hayes or unlike, say, Vince McMahon. He has a pulse on the wrestling business. So I think that needs to. I think that could really do some good there. I think what WWE, one of the problems that WWE has is that they focus so much on solely one person at a time, and you say to yourself, with all these different shows and the expansion of Raw for a third hour, it should be a little bit easier, to fit these guys in certain spots and places. But it's like with WWE, I don't know what it is. It's like something, the gear just stopped, but they just only focus one person at a time. Yes, John Cena is the poster child. Yes, John Cena is the money-making man in the company right now. But the problem with John Cena is, and I don't really want to say it's his problem, but it's the problem with WWE, and that is, it's just John Cena. That's it. A lot of people, the reason why a lot of people say, the Attitude Era superstars, that was an era where, it was a list of stars and people could do this, that, da-da-da-da-da. Reason being was because even though Austin was the poster child and he was the main focal point and the driving force for WWE, WWE still were able to build stars around Austin, where Austin being the centerpiece, but they were able to build stars around it. This generation, John Cena is the centerpiece, but they aren't building any stars around John Cena. They're only building one star every 4 years to follow up behind Cena's heels. I mean, when you do that, the progression is just very slow, and the roster is lacking, and, the WWE is in the state that they're in now. So I think that's another thing that really, really hurts WWE a lot, is that they just focus on one person, like, all the time, or just, like, yeah. Another thing they need to stop doing, stop relying on so many past superstars, because how do you expect people to get used to or get accustomed to your current talent, your future stars, if you keep going back to the cookie jar and relying on the past superstars? Not to say every once in a while you can't bring a past-in superstar to, boost up a rating or, get some pay-per-view buys. Go ahead, do that, because they are a marquee name. But don't use them consistently the way WWE, that they've been using them as of recently, which is one of the reasons why I think a lot of people found WrestleMania this year lackluster, because you look at their top 4 or 5 main event slots, it was full of part-timers, guys who were only there for the WrestleMania paycheck, and then they're gone after that, or if not that, then they're only working like 3 to 4 pay-per-views out of a year. Stop overkilling and using your veterans and your part-timers all at once. Rotate it. Use Brock Lesnar in the fall, in the spring. Summertime, you bring The Rock. Then the fall, you bring, or fall winter, you bring Chris Jericho. And then going up to WrestleMania, then you bring your Undertaker. Rotate. Don't keep having everyone just the one setting all the time. I think that is also something too. I think that kills younger talent, is the consistent use of veterans, and use them constantly and also all at once, which should be a little bit overwhelming and a bit overbearing. I think WWE, what they could do is do something like what WCW did. Only difference is, I think WWE, they can pull it off, unlike WCW, where when they did it, they were striving because they were just failing so much. But, if you guys remember how WCW had the whole New Blood angle, where they stripped every one of the titles, and they were, the thing was to focus on the New Blood and push that young talent, that young generation coming up. I think WWE can do something like that for this generation. Kind of just strip everyone of all the titles and have tournaments. Have tournaments for the IC, US, WWE, World Heavyweight. Have tournaments for all these championships, women's, tag team, and just like spread it out for say 3 months or something like that. Like spread it out, have it start in the beginning of Royal Rumble or something like that, and have it all culminate at WrestleMania, where the winners, you know, you have brand new champions. It's a brand new era. It's a new generation, and it all culminates at WrestleMania. I think that'd be a really good idea, and I think it'd be it'd be hitting that restart button, that refresh button that I think WWE really, really needs. And it's not saying that, you know, they still can't use guys like the CM Punks, the John Cena's, the Randy Ortons. These guys are still going to be in the business, you know, for the next half a decade, if not a little bit further. Still use these guys. They're still marketable talent. Definitely, you know, you can still keep your CM Punk, your Randy Orton, and whatnot as champions. But I'm just saying, just kind of like bring these young guys up around, you know, your Sheamuses, your Ortons, your CM Punks, your John Cenas, instead of just making it Cena, okay, and then 3 years pass, now it's Cena and CM Punk, and then we're going to let another 5 years pass, and now it's Cena, CM Punk, and Randy Orton, and then we're going to let another 5 years pass, and there's these four, and then now it's Ryback, and, you know, it hurts it. You know, I know a lot of people say, you know, making stars is a process. You know, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. It's a working process. Yes, it is. But there are ways that they can do things where they can legitimize the character, where, you know, people can get behind it right away, and they can enjoy the ride of that character as he grows and continues to mature as the years go by. But WWE don't do that. I think the way they book their stars, the stop and go pushes. Stop that. Stop it. How are you going to get people to care about your star and what you're doing if you yourself are giving people the indication, I don't give a damn about this person? You know, people aren't going to care about a star if you don't care about a star. And then when WWE gets this backlash, and they're like, "Hold on, we're trying to appease you fans. We're trying to listen to you fans," but we're like, "You're giving us crap because you don't give a darn about what you're doing yourself." So, at the end of the day, I think WWE could use a new era, a fresh new start, and kind of make a public announcement about it. You know, kind of like what Vince did with the Attitude Era and almost the Ruthless Aggression Era. You know, kind of make a public announcement. You know, I know a lot of people are going to say, you know, WWE should go 14. As far as I'm concerned, WWE will never be 14 again. Yes, PG, it limits the product to a degree, but there are certain ways that they can go around and kind of bend the rules a little bit without breaking it and still staying confined within that PG limit or branding. Because WWE is a publicly traded company, international traded company now. They have so many shareholders and so much sponsors and money that's coming in from those shareholders and sponsors. They're not going to change their TV ratings just so you could fuss and cuss and everything else. So I think they can bend the rules, but they can bend it with still maintaining their guidelines. So I really want to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Do you think WWE could benefit from having a new era, a fresh start, first new start of an era? What do you think of my ideas that I put in this video? I want to hear your thoughts in the box below. We'd even love it even better if you had a responsive, do a response video in the box below. Comment, subscribe. Peace.